Okay, everybody, there's Bruno, and I'm Mike, and welcome back to Mike and Bruno's Garage. Um, Last episode, we went ahead and stained the planter for my wife's garden, and then I just took a contractor bag and cut it down and just kind of stapled it in there so that when she pours the dirt, kind of stays in there a little bit. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice. Um, You can see where some of the grain and everything kind of turned out a little better with the torch once we realized that, you should probably hold it upright. Excuse me. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Then she goes, oh, well, can you put a little plaque on it? And it's like, well, yeah, I guess so. So she wants her name and garden. Found a couple of these old pieces of wood that were on Bruno's original wagon, and I figured we repurpose those and it'll kind of give it that weathered look to go with it, and then just use a wood burner. But yeah, so haven't been able to do a whole lot of tinkering. However, we have been busy, and I'll come out to the back here and we'll show you what we've been doing. Um, a lot of that right there had river rock bordering it. As you can see, the divots where my shoe is, where some of these rocks had been, and cleared out some of the stuff that had been planted here when we got here, 7 years ago. And just because it's getting harder and harder to try and mow around. Oh, little baby bird. Yeah, little baby bird on that tree. We got a couple of robins in the front tree, but yeah, this whole backstretch here to almost the parking lot there is my backyard. It's a half an acre. Still, we have fun, don't we, Bruno? With the tractor mowing all this, huh? And I got a little patio with some chairs to watch the sunset. Getting that area all cleaned up again. That stuff just grows so fast. But, a lilac bush broom. There we go. Oh, God, if you guys ever smell this stuff, it's just great. But, we've been working on this because it always gets so overgrown. So this is kind of what we've been working on. All that rock that I just told you that we took out came over here, made kind of a little rock garden border and do some mulch there. She's got some plants in her little planters that she's finding, her little planter table, and it's work in progress. I mean, this is her little garden area and patio, and cutting the brush back and everything like that. So yeah, there's still some dead stuff there. But yeah, I mean, an old beat up shed. Every place has got an old beat up shed, huh? So, but then there was some brick that bordered on the other side of that they had some stuff growing. And we took some of that brick and kind of bordered around here. There was a big bush that kind of tried to grow up here. Cleared that all out, and then took part of an old wooden swing that we had that just finally fell apart. And that was the first wagon I did. Didn't know what I was going to do with it. Wife asked to make a planter out of it. So it's been bed lined, primed, and then painted over. And this is the second year for that. And that turns out pretty good when there's flowers in it, if we can keep the squirrels from digging in it. And another wagon that I used to haul the brick that, yeah, like I said, if I bring home another wagon, I'm doomed. But that's what we've been busy with. And then I'll show you what I have been able to pick up and acquire. And get you in the stand here, and we'll get started once I take her planter out to the back 40. All right, hang on, folks. All right, guys, here we are. And yes, just in case you're wondering, you are seeing double. I was picking up the dirt and some mulch, and there was a garage sale. So I figured, okay, I'll just swing by, take a look. Well, I'll be doggone. They had a Craftsman toolbox, just like the one that I've redone. Now what's different is, well, of course I redone it. But this one has, let me get you in here. I'm filling it with Craftsman tools and wrenches. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. Now I can't remember what I paid. This was like the first toolbox that I did that I restored. And I'll show you what that's starting to look like here. Because the other one, I picked this one up for $10 yesterday. And it is in relatively the same condition as the one that I restored. So, yeah, there's some surface rust here on the bottom, spider nests and stuff like that, and a little bit of flaking on the thing, the lasp. But yeah, it's in relatively the same condition. Now, it did come with a few items, and I'll show you those here in just a second. Get something to drink. Had a couple of tape measures, kind of a, I guess, no brand, Hong Kong made, but it works. I wonder if there is a name on it. It just has a logo, but I'm not familiar with that logo. So, I think it might be fairly relatively old. Now, this here, I thought was kind of neat. Now, it's got a roller on it and a counter. You got a reset button here. Now, when you butt it up against something, you add 1 inch to the wheel, because say you're right up against something, from here to the middle of the wheel is 1 inch. So you have to add an inch to that last zero. And it's just really neat. Just roll it along the edge, and it measures it out for you. This is like pre-laser level. Measure Marvel BB, made in Hong Kong. So yeah, it's another probably gimmicky thing that they probably gave away, but it does have a breakdown of inches and millimeters in case you prefer the metric. It's probably a global thing. Since it was made in Hong Kong, they were probably universal. So I thought that was neat. No name, but it does say Japan. And it looks like these are a pretty good cutting shear. Um, spring's a little tired. I don't think these are pruning, but possibly. I'll have to compare them to like some of the metal cutters that I have. See what that comes out looking like. And what I thought was really kind of cool is another one of these folding rules. Had all the old numbers on it, the old print style. Now this was made in Japan also. However, it was manufactured in Japan for SS Kresge Company out of Michigan, Troy, Michigan. Now I remember SS Kresge's. They were kind of like maybe like a Menards or Ace Hardware, True Value, you know, kind of like that. You can kind of get a little bit of everything over there. That was back when they actually had like the old school department stores, but it still has the display thing. It does the sticker, the pricing sticker's already gone off of it, but yeah, it says to display on peg hook, pull this sleeve up. But yeah, I mean it works really good. I mean look at even the metal. I mean there's no tarnish on it. I mean, you kind of see where some of the enamel paint has either faded or come off of it a little bit. But the metal itself that it hinges on is perfect. So I thought that was kind of neat. Thought that was really neat. Did have kind of a medium flexible scraper. It's a Stanley 529, I think, USA. Had a couple of, again, Japanese, but I don't know how old these are. Standard drop forged steel, of course. It does say Japan. Doesn't have a name brand, so I don't know if these were like something he got at Kresge's too. But some angled box end standard. Might work in a pinch. But you could tell that the forging, just like this 3/8, it isn't really centered. But yeah. So yeah, nothing too shed, and 1/4 inch driver. A hacksaw. U.S. patent pending, but no name. But yeah, still a good saw. That because I got one another hacksaw, but it's got a plastic handle on it, and I don't care for it. Then had a little rag, had a little lock in it, but unfortunately no key, but it's a master lock. 22, and it had stamp 345 on there. I don't know if those are model numbers or, but it was made in USA, of course. But it's one of those layered style locks. Wish I had the key for it. Probably had the key for the locked toolbox, but since there's a story on how I got to this garage sale too. And then there's a set of files here. That plastic will probably clean up. But there's a triangular file, flat file, Japan. So I'm wondering if you got all this stuff at Kresge's. Round file, yeah, Japan. but no maker's mark. So this might have been like their store brand, possibly. Yeah, it's, hopefully that plastic will clean up. Hopefully a lot of that's on the outside. It's probably on the inside. But we'll see if we can clean that up. But they don't even look like they were hardly used either. So the story is this garage sale was like around the corner and 2 blocks away from where I live. And they went ahead and the old man passed away. And he, the guy that's having the sale bought the whole house, lock, stock, and barrel. And over the course of the next couple of weeks, over the summertime, they're just going to have garage sales to liquidate all the material things and then redo the house. So I'm going to be going there. So hopefully we'll pick up a few more things from over there. But yeah, I love this little style toolboxes like this. They don't take hardly much to clean up, and I mean, even the inside is flawless. It's just the outside where it sat exposed to the elements, probably. Then there was a old metal funnel that still had the original screen in it. Thought that was kind of neat. Those are kind of hard to find around here. Everything's all plastic now, so it's kind of hard to find, you know, the metal funnels anymore. Also found, and he threw that in with the toolbox. I went to another resale shop, and I usually kind of avoid going there because they're pretty proud of what they have, and they kind of been watching too many TV shows. However, I did find a couple of deals. I did find this Yankee Handyman 133H. Works really, really good, but I'm missing the bits for it. So I'll have to try and track down some bits for it, because I would really love to use this, because I mean, look how smooth that action is. And the selector works really good. And it's by North Brothers out of Philadelphia, made in the USA. Just a little bit of gunge on the handle, but I think I might be able to get that to come off of there. So picked that up for $2. So far I'm in 12 bucks for these items. Then I'll show you the next item that I picked up, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I know it's upside down, but that's the only cardboard security that came with it. But it is a 7-piece auto body fender set, and it is made in Taiwan, so don't hurt me too bad. And it does look a little light duty by the handles. However, I'm not going to be working on old steel anymore. I mean, it's kind of hard to find. I just don't have the option. A lot of it's thinner gauge metal, aluminum, stuff like that. So I think that would be all right. But some of this stuff was still in the plastic. And I mean, the handles are all nice and tight. Came with 3 hammers. This one, that was the flat one. This one's got the curve. Now this one might have been used because it's kind of marred up and starting to corrode, but I think some steel wool will clean that all up. And that was the only one that wasn't in the plastic. And then there was a dolly also that wasn't in the plastic. So I think it got probably used once or twice to get the job done and then never used again. The other hammer, heck, it still had the rubber band around it. And that's how cruddy it was. Rubber band just broke. And then, I mean, you can tell the castings on this isn't the greatest. But if it does the job for what you need it to do, I mean, this, like I said, this is, I'm not going to be using this stuff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know, like some guys that, you know, work on cars all the time. This is just kind of a thing to help out in case I run across that occasion where I got to pound a dent or maybe even make some metal conform to make a patch panel for something. But yeah, even these were all in the plastic. I see that what I've watched and what I've seen. Another, wow, that one's a heavy one. That rubber band broke too. They aren't, you know, still had the sticker on it, still in the plastic, still even had the rotting rubber band left on it. Of course, you know, these kind of dollies. This one here, again, still in the plastic with the rubber band rotting out. And I paid $35 for it. Okay, thought that was fairly decent. The cheapest one that I saw at Harbor Freight online was $50. And then you got to worry about shipping it and getting it here or driving up to 45 minutes away to get to the nearest Harbor Freight, either direction. So $35 for, you know, a 7-piece hammer and dolly set. I don't think that that's too bad considering how hard, or not how hard it will probably be used. So I think I got my money, good value for my money. I'm going to check in to see if I can get those 7-inch round disc sandpaper, self-adhesive sandpapers for the Black & Decker that I did on the last episode. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to, is just working in the garden with the wife to help her get, you know, the heavy stuff done, trimming, mowing, you know, so we can enjoy the art again for another summer. And appreciate you all stopping by. Appreciate you checking everything out. Appreciate everybody who watches and subscribes and watches my channel. It's greatly appreciated, and thank you. If there's anything you want to see or want me to try and do, let me know in the comments. That'd be great. So with that, say goodbye, buddy. Hey, come here. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. Keep on tinkering, and we'll catch you the next time. Have a good day.